Annual reviews can be very stressful, and I have a feeling that you're probably so focused on the day-to-day minutia that this is out of sight and out of mind. But it shouldn't be, because that means promotion and that means more money. So today I want to talk about the quarterly mile markers that you should keep in mind in order to maximize your annual review. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Hi, my name's Kristen. I'm a 25-year veteran hiring manager, attorney, and tech exec turned executive career coach. I help mid to senior level corporate women get promoted and transition into work they love. So in my last corporate role, our annual reviews were held in Q1. So I want to go through an annual timeline with you, and I'm going to use that as a model. But obviously, if that is not the model your corporation or employer uses, just switch it around so it's modified and works for you. So in late Q4 and Q1, while we were gearing up and conducting annual reviews, we were also setting goals for the next and upcoming year. So as you are framing your goals and as you are sharing this with decision makers and your boss, if you are interested in being promoted or acquiring a new skill set, this is a great time to bring it up and to ask for some input with regard to what needs to happen if this is going to be possible. So for example, if you are interested in being promoted to a director role, this is the time to throw it out there. And you don't want to just throw it out there as a mandate, but you want to ask for input and feedback and share that you really value their opinion. So questions such as, what do I need to develop in order to be promoted to a director level role? Are there habits I have that are impeding my ability to be promoted? What would be most valuable for the team? And what are some skills I need to work on and develop? And one quick story, if you are someone who, like most of us, is afraid of feedback, I had a former colleague do this where she went to not just her boss, but her skip level and said, I don't feel like I'm adding value to the team. And he said, quite surprising to her, yeah, I don't feel like you are either. Now, what was happening behind the scenes was that the company was gearing to lay off that entire team. And so this former colleague came to me, we got her resume together, and she applied and received an offer outside that organization. And sure enough, her instincts were correct. That entire team was laid off a couple months after she left. So I share that to say, don't be afraid of feedback and don't be afraid of negative feedback. And the other thing that's true about feedback, and this might sound counterintuitive, is it's not always personal. In that situation, it was actually the entire team that was undervalued. But her courage in asking the question and scheduling the conversation allowed her to save herself. So though feedback might be jarring in the moment, I want you to understand the silver lining, and I also want you to take action if you hear something that you don't like. So in Q2, you want to stay on track with regard to any changes that might have happened or whether or not you're going to meet your goals. If you're not sure how to prioritize, asking your boss for input and support and help as to whether or not you're on track can be a really great way to get buy-in as to where the team is and as to where the team is going. So for example, I have to do X, Y, and Z. This is how I'm prioritizing those tactics. What do you think? Is there anything I'm missing or anything I should do differently? And this is also a great time just to make sure that they're aware of any problems you see on the horizon. In my last corporate role, we were dramatically scaling the program I led. And as we started to scale, I saw our employment numbers start to drop. I brought this to her attention and she was actually very tense about it in the beginning. She said, I don't really understand why this is happening when I'm hearing the opposite feedback every single day. But I didn't back down. I was polite, I was direct, and I helped her solution as to why this might be happening so we could conquer it together. And then when we did fall short of that metric at the end of the year, she wasn't shocked, she wasn't surprised, she wasn't taken off guard, and I did not get my ass handed to me. But she needed the metric to prove that we needed additional funding and help in that area. And that did happen early in the next year. And in the end, she actually thanked me for my candor. She was a really good boss. But I share that story by way of saying, be transparent, be honest, and don't be afraid of giving negative attention to something that might actually be a problem. So Q3 and the mid-year check-in. So this is your opportunity to make sure that your performance and the performance of your team are on track. And this is also the time you're going to want to talk about money. So at my last corporation, they started the budgeting process for the next year right around the same time that they did annual reviews. So if you or someone on your team is looking for a pretty dramatic pay increase more than the average, this is a great time to alert your boss about the situation. So for example, when I led my last team, I had a couple of individuals that had a very long and healthy tenure with the company, but salaries had increased dramatically during that time frame, and as they were receiving their 4 to 6% annual increases, other people were coming in making more money than they were. So I respectfully let her know that this was an issue and we needed to budget more money for my team. And in doing so, we were able to do a spot increase at the time while also setting aside additional funds to get everybody whole at the time of the annual review. And if you personally are looking to get promoted, this is the time to make sure that you are on track, that there's not anything that you've missed. And of course, if goals have changed, and I've seen this a lot as the economy has contracted and there have been layoffs and different priorities. But if a situation has shifted from A to B, make sure that you are aligned with your boss on this and that you are on track for a win. And I probably don't need to say this, but I'm going to say the obvious anyway. Remember that if you are asking for an annual increase that's a little bit more dramatic or out of alignment with what you've received in the past, it needs to be based on market value and not your personal circumstances. I am sure it is very important for your child to go to a private school, but that is not what drives the markers with regard to pay. So Q4, this is not only where you finish strong, but if you see any red flags, you need to come out of the gate and take some action. So I'll share a story about a direct report I had that I was attempting to get promoted to a director level role. I thought she was great. I thought she did a phenomenal job, and I was lobbying hard for her to be promoted. I put her up for the promotion and it was denied. I was candid about her ahead of time that it might be denied. And my feeling, and I think this is true of any good boss, is if I cannot give you what you want and you have the talent and the skill set for it, I want you to go elsewhere so you're happy and fulfilled and doing your best work. Now, I didn't want her to leave the company, but what I suggested was that she apply for roles with other teams. So as I suspected, her promotion was denied initially. My boss just didn't see the same potential that I did or understand the value she added to the team. But shortly thereafter, she was offered a director level role with another team. And that is when my boss's ears perked up. I reiterated what I had been saying all along about her value, and this time my boss understood, and understood more importantly what we would stand to lose if she left. So she was immediately promoted within my team, and my boss, who, like I said, was really good, she thanked me for my persistence and for staying on her about understanding the value of this individual. And that might be the biggest lesson. You can say hard things if they are respectful. And smart people can disagree, but you do need to come with receipts so that people understand the impact of not just you, but of your employees as well. I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions about the annual review process, please feel free to put them in the comments below. Did you like this video? If you found this helpful, I would love if you would like, share, and subscribe. My intention with this channel is to build a community of kind and helpful and like-minded individuals so we can support each other as we navigate corporate America. I would be so grateful. Thanks again for watching. I come out with new videos each week, and until then, take care.